And because of the weather, our guest this morning, Adam Nagle, who's the executive director of the Factory Ministries, is joining us live on the phone. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Fred. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I know it's a disappointment not to be here live in the studio. You were looking forward to it, but we just felt better about your safety being at home. Anybody you want to give a shout out to and say hi to?
Oh, I've got a ton. My family, my mom, my dad, my wife, who's not, my wife is actually still sleeping because of my daughter has a delay this morning. And
nice.
our entire staff at the factory would say hi to all of them.
Awesome. Tell us what the Factory Ministries is doing. Tell us what you guys do.
Yeah, we address issues of poverty in eastern Lancaster County. We're a hub connecting people to resources through a lens of empowerment, and really, as poverty is to us so much more than financial, so much more than individual. So that third leg of what we do is really focused on building community.
So how do you do that? What are some of the services and some of the programs you provide?
Yeah, we provide early learning services. As you look at poverty, especially financial poverty, it's so important to really focus on those early years. So we provide early learning services, getting into homes, walking with parents. We then provide youth services. We have a youth center, after-school programming. We have a food bank, pantry. We do crisis housing, transitional housing. We have domestic violence programming and housing. And we also have a workforce program where we head out to local businesses and bring our advocacy program out to the businesses and journey with them and their workforce.
Sounds like you're doing a lot of stuff. I'm imagining that you're collaborating with a lot of other local ministries or local organizations. Is that the case?
It is the heartbeat. The factory started in '94 with 3 churches. The way I always like to tell the story, 3 churches in the Paradise area in eastern Lancaster County, kind of went door to door and did an assessment and said, what does the community need? And it came up that, hey, we need a youth center, a place for kids to hang out. And it's kind of where we launched and started. So when I tell that story, for those that are familiar with church history and kind of the movements and fluid of church, the 90s, when you hear 3 churches of separate denominations pulling together to get something done, that was a little more on the rare side.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that collaborative energy has always been with us. And so we work with community action partners. We work with the Redevelopment Authority. We work with Union Community Care. We work with Lancaster General Penn Medicine and Food Pharmacy and their programming, and CareerLink and the work, just down the list of the services in the community tenfold. We work very closely in partnering and collaboration in bringing people connecting to the resources to help them overcome issues of poverty.
Yeah, we love hearing that. We love hearing how you're kind of drawing all those organizations together and all working together for the betterment of the Paradise area and Pequay Valley area there. Sounds like you guys probably have a lot of volunteers too.
We do. We have a number of volunteers, specifically in our youth center. We have a number of volunteers with our food bank and the whole food procurement process and distribution has a number of volunteers with it.
That's awesome. Do you have any great stories about how God has worked through the Factory Ministries?
Yeah, I could take all morning sharing stories. One of my favorites here recently is we journeyed with a woman who was a friend of ours who 16 years living without a home, spent a lot of those years in her car, had a family, and we've journeyed with her for the last 2 years, and it was so fun to see her get housed this past late fall, early winter. She's still sustainably housed, and stories like that we get excited about and celebrate. It's hard work. But it's such a joy to see those victories and see her in a home and be able to, we were there to get her settled in and track down some furniture, and just a real joy.
That is awesome. I know you guys have an event coming up. We're going to talk about that on the way. Tell us about it. Just give us the quick details about that.
Yeah, Dr. Irvin Scott of Harvard will be with us. We Excited about that. It's Community Leadership Summit as we focus on community, and we believe so much in investing in the leaders in our community. So it's really a way to bring leaders together, having him, because one of the things is people look at the factory, one of the things where we stand out, I think we hear a lot about this, so I'm beginning to realize we stand out in this, is our partnership with the public school. We're a faith-based organization and actually have shared staff with the public school.
Wow.
And so Dr. Irvin Scott's been a key leader in that space and his influence in leadership in general. So he's a friend of the factory, and he's going to join us in March, and would love to welcome the community to join us.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that coming up. If folks are interested in volunteering or want to find out about that upcoming event, thefactoryministries.com is the place to go. We'll talk more with Adam on the way. And joining us live once again from the Factory Ministries is their Executive Director, Adam Nagle. Adam, good morning again to you.
Good morning, Fred. Thanks again for having me.
So great to have you here. Glad you're safe and at home and able to call in via the phone. Tell us what the Factory Ministries does.
Yeah, we are a hub in eastern Lancaster County focused on issues of poverty, as walking alongside of people in a sense of empowerment, connecting them to resources, and then as poverty to us is so much more than financial and so much more than individual. It really takes a community, so we work hard at building a strong community, collaborating with organizations all across the county.
And I know one thing that is part of the heart of the Factory Ministries is building leaders, strong leaders in our community. And to that end, You have a leadership summit coming up. Tell us all about that.
We do. So again, poverty work is, it's so much more than individual. And so we've really stepped back 3 years ago and said, hey, what could we do to invest in leaders and continue to bring leaders together around conversations around leadership and especially issues of poverty? So we started the Leadership Summit. This year, we're excited to have Dr. Irvin Scott with us. He's with Harvard. The reason Dr. Irvin Scott's going to join us is if we had $1 for every person that's come through our doors, curious about the factory, asking specifically about our relationship with Peckley Valley School District. As a public school, and we're a faith-based organization, Dr. Irvin Scott's work has been in that space specifically on how to do that successfully. So we're excited to have him join us, share his lessons on leadership and kind of what he's learned in that space.
When is your Leadership Summit?
It takes place March 7th, 8 o'clock to 10:30 in the morning. Participants get a book and a breakfast from Speckled Hen.
Ooh, where's it going to be?
At the Factory Ministries, at our location there on Lincoln Highway in Paradise.
Very cool. And let's talk a little bit about the book. What is the book that you guys are going to be giving away?
Yeah, so we're giving away Dr. Irvin Scott's book. It's Leading with Heart and Soul. It's lessons that he's learned in that space of living out his faith in a public institution like public school. And again, it's a tough thing to do at times, and it's a gritty thing, and it's just the lessons he's learned in that space, and he shares them very in a devotional context throughout that book.
The Leadership Summit is coming up March 7th from 8 o'clock to 10:30. You get the book, you get breakfast from the Speckled Hen. It's happening there at the Factory Ministries on Route 30. And if folks want to sign up, do they need to do that ahead of time, Adam?
They do. They can find that information on our website, right there on our homepage. There's a button with information on the Community Leadership Summit.
Very cool. Check it out online, thefactoryministries.com. Also, if folks want to volunteer or if they want to support your ministry, they can do it at the website too, right, Adam?
They absolutely can, and we love volunteers, journeying with volunteers, and again, starting relationships with donors and engaging that way is significant. We love that.
Check it out online, thefactoryministries.com. Once again, that leadership breakfast is coming up March 7th at 8 o'clock. You can get all the details online. Adam, Mindy walked in, and when she found out I was talking to you, she said, Adam is awesome, and we can now confirm that is the truth.
I love that. She's there in our community. Love partnering with her. Love what you guys do there here at WJTL.
Oh, thanks, Adam. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you, Fred.